from a show of hands here, who's ever seen a film? Would anybody like to tell me just really quick what your favorite movie of all time is, Stephanie?
Harry Potter.
Okay. Brian?
Star Wars Episode 1.
Episode 1?
Oh, we got a plan.
I'm kidding.
Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you the real best Star Wars movie. Episode 5. The Empire Strikes Back. Because there's only episode 4, 5, and 6. I've never heard of episode 1, 2, or 3. Thank you to Rylan for this amazing joke that I'm about to tell, because I need some writers to give me my jokes, because my jokes consist of Star Wars quotes. And thanks to Rylan, he gave me this pretty sweet joke. If you're looking for Princess Leia and you can't find her, you're obviously looking in all the wrong places. Thank you. While a lot of you know that I love and adore superheroes, comic books, and superhero films, there is one movie, the greatest movie of all time, that combines action, suspense, twists, and weird sibling romances perfectly in under 2 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. That's right. I'm feeling really a lot like Tony Stark up here. All right. So the date was May 17th, 1980. A whole entire 3 years after A New Hope, after we last saw Luke, Han, Chewie, Leia, and all of our favorite droids. The Death Star was destroyed, and the Empire was defeated. Or so we thought. But it's a time for rebellion, or so says that ever iconic opening crawl. We catch up with our heroes on the planet of Hoth, a snow planet. The rebellion base is being attacked by some sweet AT-ATs. And after a nice, iconic, legendary battle, Luke finds his way to the Dagobah system, where he trains with the greatest Jedi Master that has ever existed, and who is definitely not a puppet like in Episode 1, Yoda. So while he trains in the ways of the Force for the very first time, lifting some sweet X-Wings out of a swamp, Han, Chewie, Leia, and the droids, they all find their way to Cloud City, where they meet Lando Calrissian, Han's best friend. What they don't know is that that there's a trap set. Darth Vader needs Luke Skywalker. He knows something that the fans don't. And that's where the greatest film of all time comes in. The twists, the suspense. You know that these characters know something and you don't. So Luke senses something in the Force. He senses that his friends are in trouble. While Yoda warns him not to go, he does anyway. Like the true hero he is. He's not some farm boy going to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. Oh no. He's going to Cloud City to take on the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader. A villain that will run through cinema as the greatest villain in the history of the world. Voldemort who? Guy doesn't even have a nose. Darth Vader on the other end. He's got a pretty sweet lightsaber. After Han Solo, Luke Skywalker's best friend is frozen in carbonite. Luke Skywalker does the manliest thing in the world. He ignites that nice baby blue lightsaber, and he goes after Darth. Now after one of the greatest and the most iconic and legendary fight scenes in history of the world takes place, Luke Skywalker loses his hand. Wait, what? But the good guys always win, I said. How can this be? Now my first childhood memory is seeing Star Wars. Unfortunately, it may or may not have been Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, which is the best of the prequels, which is not saying too much because the other prequels are about as useful as this power bar over here. So you can imagine my surprise when Luke Skywalker, the hero of the original trilogy, loses his hand. Lightsaber gone, as well as his fingers and such. And he crawls away. He scrambles away from Darth Vader Join me, he says, and together we'll rule the galaxy and we'll be unstoppable. And like the true hero Luke Skywalker is, he says no. Which is good, because you can't rule a galaxy with one hand. From personal experience, I know you definitely cannot rule anything with just one hand. So, Luke Skywalker scrambles away. Obi-Wan never told you what did happen to your father, Darth Vader says. The fans are on the edge of their seat. What don't we know? He told me you killed him, cries out Luke Skywalker with only one hand, as he's holding on to a nice antenna above a big hole in the Cloud City. No, Darth Vader says, and in a delivery, in a twist, with only the gravitas and the manlyhood of James Earl Jones, Darth Vader says, no, Luke, I am your father. Ryan Grove died that day, but he came back only seconds later to relive the greatest memory in Star Wars fan history. The main villain, the worst villain in the entire world. Is Voldemort Harry Potter's father? Didn't think so. I don't know. He could be. I've never seen Harry Potter, but he's definitely on the list of Darth Vader. That is for sure. Luke Skywalker, he cries out in agony, as you would if you found out your hand was cut off by your dad in the very same day. He drops down that big hole I was talking about earlier and lands right on the Millennium Falcon, and thank goodness Lando Calrissian, he's just like Han Solo, except a lot cooler, because Billy D. Williams. So, we regroup with our heroes. They're on a space station. And I need regrouping after my hand got cut off by my dad also. So as the ever so iconic music ramps up, Luke Skywalker gets a robotic hand. So now he can rule the galaxy, because he has two hands. As you see Leia, Luke, and our droid staring out into the galaxy, the iconic score by John Williams ramps up. It gets your heart pumping. I died again that day at that moment, but came back to life to witness the second greatest thing in that entire movie. The music ramps up. You're feeling the Star Wars energy. What's happening next? What's going to happen? It fades to black. The music kicks in. Directed by Ivan Kershner. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, is the greatest film in cinematic history.